Alright, hi. My name is Joe Brunski, and I will be refuting my opponent's speech in which he claims that making the legal age to purchase and consume alcohol 21 years old is doing more harm than good. My opponent's secondary claims were that 1. Keeping the drinking age at 21 hurts our nation's economy. Having the legal drinking age of 21 causes binge drinking or drinking and driving among those age 18 to 21. 3. They are considered legal adults at age 18. And 4. It becomes easier for colleges to prevent alcohol-related deaths. I actually agree with my opponent's claim, so I will not be refuting their claim, but their reasoning and their evidence in arriving at that claim. For my opponent's first secondary claim, keeping the drinking age at 21 hurts our nation's economy, his reasoning is faulty. He is guilty of presupposition on both of his supporting claims. He assumes that individuals aged 18 to 21 will resort to theft to procure alcohol. He also assumes that lowering the drinking age to 18 will lessen the need for alcohol awareness propaganda. This was done with no supporting statistics, such as theft rates in individuals aged 18 to 21, or current alcohol awareness marketing statistics. His secondary claim was that having the legal drinking age of 21 causes binge drinking or drinking and driving among those aged 18 to 21. First of all, my opponent's evidence dates back to 2005, so it could possibly be out of date by now. Additionally, his evidence stated that 60% of teenage deaths in car accidents were alcohol-related, when in his speech, he said that 60% of alcohol-related deaths involved a teenage fatality. This may seem similar, but it has a much bigger impact than what the number is actually. It is closer to 17%, according to Edgar Snyder and Associates. My opponent's third claim is that 18-year-olds are considered legal adults and as such should be allowed to drink. This claim is not based on a claim of fact, but a claim of value. My opponent is arguing that the right to drink is on the same level as the right to marry or the right to fight in a war. That is not the point of this argument. The point of this argument is whether making the legal age to drink 21 years old is doing harm. My opponent's fourth claim is that it becomes easier for colleges to prevent alcohol-related deaths. My advocate assumes that colleges are unable to help students under age 21 with drinking problems when our own counseling department is able to help students of any age with problems regarding alcohol, according to their statistics page. Thank you for listening to my speech, and I hope you learned something today.
All right, Joe, some of the same comments apply here. This is a good, immediate refutation, but I'm not sure that you've gotten as much out of it as you could. I'd be careful about saying I agree with the advocate. That's like the defense attorney getting up and saying, yeah, I think my client's guilty, but let me show you how the prosecution failed to prove their case. Now you're giving the jury an additional reason to believe the advocate's claim instead of just focusing on what doubts and problems there are with the claim as it's originally presented. And I think that's what you want to stick to. The signposting is pretty clear. It's easy to follow. The challenge on the first point discusses some of the presuppositions that the advocate's making. You need to show us why those presuppositions are problematic. And in fact, if you had some evidence that indicated that they were not accurate presuppositions, I think that would be pretty helpful. Like I said, as it is, it's just kind of a quick press on that point. On the next point, you suggest that maybe the evidence is a little old, 2005. I don't know why that's necessarily old. I think there could be a reason why it's old, but you don't give us a reason to think that it's old, and so just pointing out the year is not sufficient there. The information about the percentages involved in the accidents and what the fatalities are, I do think you have a legitimate interpretation of how that evidence is being misread by the advocate, but the one piece of information that you come back with that seems to apply to this argument is not very clear. That 17% statistic, I don't know how it applies to this argument, and you don't really you don't really clarify it very well. On the third point, you're right, it is kind of a value claim. I think that's a good point to make, but why is that particular value not a harm? And even if it is a value claim, what challenges could you make to that value claim that those things, for instance, are not analogous, that the other rights that are mentioned, for instance, don't have the same kinds of consequences to others, that sort of thing, and that the main reason that this was done in this particular way had to do with the fact that people didn't follow through on their responsibilities. If you get married when you're 18 and divorced when you're 19, the only people it hurts is you and your spouse. However, if you get drunk when you're 18 and kill somebody when you're 19, that's somebody else that's involved in that particular situation, and that's the differential that most people use to justify that. It's the potential harm to others. So I think that's the easiest thing for you to have responded to, and you don't really kind of develop that argument. The signpost on the fourth point was pretty clear. You have a good response to that last point, but I didn't think it was developed as much as it could have been. All right, thank you.